That's hella XP.
Welcome to the Hella XP Actual Play Podcast. Today we're playing Shibuyan Knights in an adventure called The Crew of August Marsh. We're playing with Matt Conant as Sym, Lauren Cipollo as Vex, and Emmett Puri as August Marsh. I'll be your GM, Mo Poplar. So, let's go ahead and mark 1 for being guilty. A pirate helped a pirate. Vex hustled somebody for some shells.
Ice cream bowl. Ugh.
Sym, I'm going to say I'm going to give you a minus to your roll if you want to replace your bruise.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably a good plan.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a minus. I'm going to give you a -1.
Okay. This is the repair stuff kind of roll?
Yep.
Okay. That's a 2 then.
A 2. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to say, let's go ahead and make this a 3-tick clock, and you've ticked 1.
Okay. So this is a rep roll? Is that how?
What? Yes. What are you training?
So what's our limit for how high skills can go?
Yeah, I think the limit is 4.
Cajole. I'm gonna up that a little more. Yeah. Okay, then I got a 9.
A 9. So 2 ticks to your 4-tick clock.
All right.
You guys are puttering along, and Ethan, he's a bit of a speed demon, and so this thing has a stick going out in front, like there should be a horse on the front. He's just ruddering you guys through the street, and he's shouting at people to get out the way and learn how to drive, and he's quite rude. Sym, what's your second downtime activity?
I think I will work on I get in the middle of this lightning vehicle.
Yes.
Work on finishing crafting this knife that I was working on.
Excellent. All
Seems
right.
like a good place to craft a knife.
Mm-hmm.
So that is 10.
10. Okay, so 3 ticks to that clock. Vex,
That's done.
what are you doing, Vex?
I have some more stress, so I think I'm just gonna try and get rid of some more of that. And that is an 8.
2 ticks.
Nice.
And August Marsh, what are we doing?
I'll continue working on that training if I can.
Do it.
It's gonna be an 8.
2 ticks.
All right, that'll finish it out.
All right, so improve your cajole by 1.
All right, up to 2.
You guys pull up to a dry dock warehouse. Smells of fish. And as you guys get there, thugs of all stripes kind of fan out of the warehouse. Not sure they were expecting guests. A man steps out of the warehouse wearing aviator glasses. That Vex, you know to be Kane Dremka.
Cool. I'm glad I'm wearing a disguise right now.
Wait, who you disguised as?
I just wanted to not look like me because I didn't want this buyer to know who I was.
All right.
But this is interesting because, and I don't know if we're going to follow up with this later, he was looking for me and needed to talk to me. So I'm going to see how this plays out. And I think everybody would just notice that Vex gets very tight and quiet.
Okay.
But I'm not going to say anything.
I don't think August would notice that.
Fair.
Ethan saw you put on your costume. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't think anybody. I wasn't hiding that part. I said out loud. I did not want to be,
So the question is, how well is this disguise? Now that it's time to use it. Let's roll that sneak roll.
Mm-hmm. Wow. 8.
8. Okay. So Kane looks you all over and says, Ethan, who are your friends? Ethan says, these fine folks. He looks at you, Vex, in particular. They're nobodies, but they're nobodies who pulled my fat out the fire, kept me safe because apparently the Sapporo sent some thugs to, yeah. He rips out a page of the book. He hands it to Kane. Kane takes the page. He says, very good work. And then he holds out his hand. And Ethan's like, oh, this has got my notes in it. And Ethan, not one for a fight, hands over his book. He's like, Mr. Tremka, can I please just have my notes back? Like, there are a couple of great scores in there. And I don't want to have to come back to you with my handout, needing more money. Kane thinks about that. He looks through the book. He he tears out the pages that have writing on them, and he gives them back to Ethan. He says, I just want you to know, this recipe shows up anywhere else in the city, I'm coming to look for you, Ethan. Ethan thinks about it, and he pushes those pages back at Kane. He's like, nope. I got nothing. You're the man, Kane. You're the man. And Kane is a bit amused by this. He takes all the pages and he pockets the recipe and he hands the rest to somebody who just shows up to like take his trash essentially. And Kane walks up to the cart. Have you guys gotten out of the cart?
I would assume.
Yeah.
Friends of Ethan, I see. A pirate and a brewer. Kane
right.
walks up to you and he says, you know I'll kill you if this recipe gets out, right?
I don't even know what the recipe is.
And somehow you know, Sym, he's not lying. Because a bartender always.
Yeah, he told the truth.
I would like to point out that when you said that Ethan would be in trouble if this showed up anywhere else in the city, I expect it will show up at Sapporo places, given that it was theirs to begin with. So that's not our fault.
Oh,
that's true.
Here we have a magistrate, one versed in the laws of the land. What's your name, son?
I'm Captain August Marsh, Scourge of the Skies and Salvager of Forgotten Catchphrases.
Can you make a sneak roll, August Marsh?
Yes.
Because you are in disguise with somebody who might know who you are.
That's going to be a 10.
August Marsh. He takes a smell. You smell of alcohol. He's like, your adventures are legendary, but you've gotten quiet lately.
It's my natural musk.
Well met.
No one's ever accused me of being quiet.
And who are you, sir, ma'am?
I'm Camilla Orange. Just, your average hustler. Just trying to make a living.
Aren't we all? He turns on his heel, he walks away, and He's quiet as he paces away. He says, thank you for helping Ethan. Shall I take theirs out of your cut, Ethan, or are you going to settle up on your own? And Ethan looks at you guys and looks at his. He's like, we'll settle up on my own. Kane takes out a chest, hands it to Ethan. Ethan is a slight man. He looks weaselly, and he receives the chest from Kane, and you realize Kane's very strong because Ethan sags under the weight of this chest, and he wrestles it to the cart, and he puts it in, and you feel the cart kind of sag to the left. He says, let me know if you need anything else, boss. Kane says, absolutely. It's very good doing business with you. And he's going to pull off and take off.
Can I be very aware of what direction he's going in? Does he look like he's with people that I would know as his people?
Who, Kane?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
And you guys leave his warehouse.
Okay.
You guys would leave.
And Ethan has paid us at this point, at least what he...
If you guys are interested in being paid in the wagon, he can pay you in the wagon. He thinks he can drive that well. Ethan says, where to? Where can I drop you?
I mean, I guess pending anything else, we're going back to Floating Buoy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or is there something else?
You guys head back to the Floating Buoy. And as you get out of the wagon at the Floating Buoy, you see you've been tailed.
Cool.
Great. This should be fun.
When do we notice that?
I'm gonna say you notice it when you're getting out of the wagon. I'm kind of forcing this on you as the result of Vex's mixed disguise rule.
All right.
So he did not know who she was, but he wants to know who she is.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right, Ethan. Thank you for the ride back. If you are concerned about safety for your newfound wealth, I know all the best places to bury valuables. Just so you know.
He says, "Oh yeah, and when it comes to safety, you can find me on the boat. I told you I got a boat, right?
No, but that makes sense. Keep the conch on you.
Yeah.
You can always reach me there.
Well, the conch is still at the apartment.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'll see if I can pick one up. If I do, I'll conch you. If you need me, I'll be at a boat in the docks called the Cat's Meow."
Roger that.
So he takes off in his wagon. As he leaves, his tail leaves to follow him.
Good.
Great. It's real great.
Yeah.
Did you guys want to do anything about that, or know anything about that, or anything?
Well, we saw it, you said. So what kind of a vehicle, if they are in a vehicle, are they in?
A bicycle.
Would I know that it's Kane's people?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Vex can just be like, no, don't worry about it. That was just my uncle. It's probably being nosy. That's kind of what.
Okay. You guys get back into the restaurant. Is there anything that you plan on doing at the restaurant? This is opening day for the restaurant.
Oh, okay.
So everybody is running around. Suits are pressed. The linen has been ironed. The kitchen smells wonderful.
I think if there was nothing else anyone needed of him, Sym would go into the kitchen and try to offer assistance to all the chefs.
All right. They'll take it. They'll put you on just chopping ingredients.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll chop or wash dishes or whatever to be in the kitchen.
Awesome.
So.
August, what are you up to?
I'm gonna take advantage of the bar. Yeah.
The bar isn't open, but Liana has pretty much set up a tap for you.
Okay.
That is not in the restaurant.
All right. That's where I'll go.
And she has said, you can have as much as you want of this, but don't really go out there and mess.
Sounds fair to me, August Marsh.
Vex, what are you getting up to?
Are there hors d'oeuvres or a buffet?
There is food for the staff.
Then
You've kind of been eating staff food for like the last month that you've been here. It's
cool.
pretty great,
Oh no, like
but
a
it
pet.
is not what they serve on the menu.
Okay. I think Vex will probably be like eating the staff food and just longingly staring at all of the beautiful dishes that are happening and looking like she would really want to eat those. But dressed up for the occasion. So she does look nice.
Okay. Do you look like Vex?
Yes.
Okay. You guys are kind of doing your different things. It sounds like you're all around the kitchen. The maitre d' bursts into the kitchen. Liana, we have trouble. And Liana kind of looks at you guys and she's like, I know it seems like I've been letting you stay here rent free, but you've kept the rats out.
That's true.
She kind of nods toward the front door.
Oh. Well, but I've been cooked. But okay.
Is your knife ready, Sym?
Yes.
Okay. So what does your knife do?
I just figure it is mostly just disguised as a very fancy sushi knife, but as such, it's also extremely sharp. And,
okay. So I'm going to ask you a couple dumb questions. Is it doing more damage? Is it giving you +1 fight? Is it kind of a device for delivering poison?
Gotcha.
These are fun things I would do with a knife.
Sure. I didn't want to assume it could give anything beyond a flavor advantage, but
it does that too. But you've been working on a project, and so I'm just trying to understand what have you succeeded in doing? And I'm going to say, feel free to pick one of those.
All right. Yeah, I like the poison idea. Let's go with that.
Okay. So, do you guys go out into the dining room?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we'll follow where the trouble seems to be.
Have you guys seen a film called Kung Fu Hustle?
No.
Oh.
I don't think so. No.
So I can only encourage you that you have in front of you one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
Okay.
You go outside and you see a gang of suited thugs with axes in hand.
Oh.
Each one has an axe in hand. And in the front, in a tuxedo, is Kane Dremka.
All right then.
Yeah, so
And-
Rex is like complaint, and she's just like has handfuls of food and is like eating, and she like walks out and is just like, man, we got to deal with all the hey.
And he says, how does a man get a reservation these days?
Well, all you needed to do was ask. You didn't have to bring all this stuff. Like, just have a seat. Why do we have weapons out right now?
You see Leanne behind you. You hear her behind you. And under her breath, she says, seems like it's time for you to figure out whose side you're on. She walks in front of all of you and says, you can leave now. I think you guys just got the memo that this guy at the door is her uncle, who you just saw at the docks, who didn't recognize her.
Mm-hmm.
Has she told us at all that guy was her uncle? Like, do we have that piece of her backstory?
He did just speak with her, so I don't know. But
okay.
This
Okay.
is what the audience knows.
Something I would be shameful of or would hide from anyone, but I didn't want to be connected to that one particular job, so that's why I was not interested in being recognized.
So do we think he knows now that she was there, or no? Or we don't know?
I'm hoping he doesn't.
He did just see us, but
Oh, well, that's fair.
Oh, Leanne, I see you've apparently hired some stand-up fellows. And my niece?
okay. Sim's just looking back and forth.
Yeah, this is Vex's spotlight. What's your soliloquy, Vex?
we I am not sure why you guys have beef, but I don't think that you should. This is a nice restaurant and the food is great, and maybe if we all just had a drink and calm down for a second, we could just have a really nice restaurant opening. And she like sidles over to her uncle and she's like, "What are you doing? What's up? Like, why are you having such a problem right now?"
She says, "Your uncle has been trying to put me out of business for years now. And now that I think about it, maybe that arcane spell gone wild wasn't an accident. One time, he sent one of his favorites to a restaurant I have on the other side of town to kill Namazu. You remember that, don't you, Sym?"
I do. And Sym gets interested in this story at this point.
And so it seems like now he wants to make sure that my restaurant doesn't open.
I think
You see a couple of the chefs come out of the kitchen. One of them has a harpoon, and another has a couple of knives, and he's holding them like he doesn't just cut chicken.
I mean, I had to move all the way across town because of your uncle here, and a meal I was blamed for, by the way. So, and like Liana, frankly, had a lot to do with the fact that I'm even still here right now. So I don't think there's any reason for me to pick sides. I already have one. And Sym goes and stands behind Liana and the other chefs, and he gets his fancy poison tipped sushi knife out.
Oh, you don't know. Come here, my niece. He beckons you.
Oh God. What's she like, family's family. So she's definitely going to her uncle and is like, that was a long time ago. What are you bringing this all back up for?
He rubs her shoulder. He finds a piece of wig from Camilla Orange in your hair. He says, "It's really not your color." And he drops it on the floor. That was such a talented job. It was her first.
Oh no.
Oh, that was you who did that. That's great. And like Sym
And,
just
like-
looks so disappointed.
And, like, Vex is definitely like, I don't know how to go between these two things right now. And she's just like, Sym, I didn't know. It was a job and I had to do it. I was just told to kill the guy and I didn't know. And my uncle helped me because I screwed it up. But look, I'm just trying to it's hard to keep track of all these things and everybody knows everybody, and I didn't know. I really didn't know.
He looks at you and he says, "You don't know."
I didn't know that it was. I just knew that I had to kill the guy. I didn't know Sym was. I don't know who Sym was then. I just went into the kitchen and I put it in the wrong place. I didn't get the instructions quite right. I didn't know who was going to deliver it.
Well, do you know if you did a good job this time? Because if you did, we can all leave now.
I mean, I've been doing everything that everyone asked, right? I've been completing the jobs, right?
Excellent. Then you all enjoy dinner tonight. He'll put his arm out for you to take his. He's essentially suggesting that you poison all the food in the restaurant.
Oh no. Mm-hmm.
So he's putting his arm out. It's been out for an awkwardly long time.
Vex will take it.
He leads you outside, and the men with the axes follow behind.
So he's suggesting that we have already poisoned the restaurant, or that we are to do that now.
That she has already poisoned the food
Oh,
at the
that you
restaurant.
have. I see.
Oh my gosh, if I poison the restaurant and I don't know about it, that would be crazy reveal.
You guys walk out, Vex, to the line of patrons who are waiting for the restaurant to open right now. Thank you for joining us on the Hala XP Actual Play Podcast. For more information on Shibuyan Knights, go to ashyfeet.com. There you'll find more episodes for this podcast. If you like the show, please rate us and review on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Until next time, wishing you the very best and have some fun in your life.